guys, I'm Daniel Farizi. I will present the journal I'm looking for. Analyze sport, egg, and sex specific events of sport. Introduction. With increasing emphasis on regular physical activity in Australia, it becomes crucial to understand the associated traits, particularly those related to sport injuries. Engaging in sport and physical activities offer numerous benefits for both physical and mental health. However, without proper prevention and awareness, individuals can be vulnerable to various injuries. This presentation aims to highlight these risks, discuss prevention measures, and provide insight into maintaining a healthy and activity lifestyle while minimizing the likelihood of injuries. Methodology. This study was conducted to understand the risks of sport-related injuries among non-professional athletes in the metropolitan area of Perth, Australia. Below are the details of the methodology used, like a random sample. A random sample was taken from several sport clubs including Australian rules football, field hockey, basketball, and netball located in the metropolitan area of Perth. The selection was made to ensure a representative variation of popular sport types in Australia. And participants involved in this study were randomly selected members of these clubs. They were followed during the winter sport season over a period of 5 months from May to September 1917. This time frame was chosen as it represents an active period with many matches and training sessions, allowing for comprehensive observation of injury incidents. Inclusion criteria. Participants included in this study had to meet specific criteria, namely being at a non-professional or first grade level and not having a presence of a sport injury in the 3 months period to the study commencement. This criteria was used to ensure that participants did not have pre-existing injuries that could affect the study outcomes. Data collection. That were collected through 2 main methods: questionnaire and telephone interviews. Questionnaires were administered at the beginning of the season to gather basic information about their sport activities, injury history, and general health condition. Additionally, telephone interviews were conducted moderately to monitor development and any injury incident that may have occurred during the study period. Injury severity classification. Injuries reported by participants were classified based on severity levels. Severity. Injuries requiring hospitalization, moderate. Injuries requiring medical treatment but not hospitalization, and mild. Injuries that participants could self-treat without significant medical intervention. Sample size estimation. Sample size was estimated considering clustering and attrition. The decrease in the number of participants remaining in the study until publication. This adjustment was crucial to ensure that study results remain valid despite potential participant dropout. All unlimited the study involvement. 5T12 participants who met all inclusion criteria. This rigorous methodology was designed to avoid occur and relate that regarding sport injury incident among non-professional athletes in Australia, as well as to understand to contributory factors to these injuries and how they can be prevented. And the conclusion, during the study, a approximately half of the participants experience sport injuries. This figure is lower compared to similar studies conducted in New Zealand. While most injuries observed were actual in nature, the study did not specifically focus on overall injuries. Nearly 80% of participants reported warming up before practice or games, but these warm-up sessions were not consistently comprehensive. Further, the elaboration. This study found that about half of the participants experienced injuries during the study period. This indicates a significant incidence of injuries, though lower compared to studies conducted in New Zealand. This difference could stem from various factors, including a difference in training methods, types of sport played, and possible different sporting culture between two countries. The most commonly reported injuries were acute, meaning they occurred suddenly and often result from single events such as falls, collision, or sudden movement causing damage to muscular or joints. The study did not focus on apparent injuries such as tension or stress fracturing, with typical development gradually due to preventive use of specific body part. This suggests that while acute injuries are more easily identified and reported, effort injuries may be underdiagnosed and require more attention in future studies. One significant finding of this research was that nearly 80% of participants engaged in warm-up exercise before practice or games. Warm-up is recognized as a critical step in injury prevention, as it helps encourage blood flow to muscle, improve flexibility, and prepare the body for more intense physical activity. However, despite the majority of participants warming up, their warm-up sessions were not consistently thorough. This implies that while some form of warm-up was performed, it may not have been sufficient to provide maximum protection against injuries. Factors such as duration, intensity, and type of warm-up play roles in the effectiveness of warming up. This finding underscores the need for better education on the importance of thorough and effective warm routines. Sport clubs and students should be informed and trained on how to conduct warm-ups that effectively minimize the risk of injuries. Additionally, the study highlights the need for greater emphasis on preventing overdose injuries, which are often overlooked but can have significant long-term impacts on athletes' health and performance. Overall, the conclusion drawn from this study indicate that while reported injury rates are notable, there is a room for improvement in warm-up practice and injury prevention strategies. Enhanced education and training can help reduce injury incidents and improve long-term safety and health for non-professional athletes. A. Recruitment and participation rates. In this study, participant recruitment was conducted systematically and comprehensively to ensure adequate representation from various sports in the metropolitan area of Perth. The majority of recruitment participants were interviewed 4 times for more during the 5-month study period. This indicates a high level of participation and good compliance with the research process. High participant rates are crucial for avoiding consistent and relief data regarding sport injuries. The repeated interview process allows researchers to monitor participant condition periodically, identify new injuries, and gather information on risk factors and prevention measures taken by participants. It also provides an opportunity to raise error or deficiency in previous data collection, thereby enhancing the accuracy of the result findings. B. Demographic comparison. Comparison of demographics between participant and non-participant show a minimal difference between the two groups. This indicates that the study sample is representative of the target population and there is no significant selection bias. Demographic factors such as age, gender, and socio-economic background are important variables to consider in health research, as they can influence injuries rates and health-related behaviors. By ensuring minimal demographic difference between participant and non-participant, research can be more confident that this research finding can be generalized to a broader population. This also means that finding regarding injury incidents, right, factors, and effectiveness of preventive action can be applied to a larger group of a non-professional athletes in that region. C. Follow-up rates. The follow-up rates vary among different sports, with the highest rates found in field hockey and the lowest in basketball. The high follow-up rate in field hockey may be attributed to several factors such as better club organization, a stronger commitment from participants, or possible due to the nature of sport itself, allowing for more considered that collection. Conversely, the low follow-up rate in basketball may be due to various reasons, including positional schedules, high player mobility, or perhaps lower engagement and commitment to the study. Variations in follow-up rates are important to consider as they can affect the reliability and validity of research findings. Research needs to conduct in-depth analysis to understand the factors influencing follow-up rates in its sport and development stages to enhance participant participation and retention or in future research. This goal including improving communication with participants, improving indication phase, or adjusting data collection methods to make them more accessible and convenient for participants. Overall, the high recruitment and participant rates, minimal demographic difference between participant and non-participant, and variation in follow-up rates provide valuable insight into the dynamics of this research. These findings help ensure that the collected data is relevant and representative of a broader population, while also a distinct area for improvement in future research efforts. Okay, maybe that's all for me. I hope you understand what I say. Thank you.